Hi, class. I hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is staying safe and warm in this interesting time we're having with weather. And so, this is a perfect opportunity to do an asynchronous class. That means that you can study and attend class on your own schedule. And so, I know that there are rolling blackouts happening. And so, um, this is why I'm making this video, just in case you can't attend at our normal 11 o'clock time. Hopefully, this will be beneficial to you. We're just going to go through the rest of chapter 4 here. And so we talked about time management on Monday. And so we're going to continue talking about that. And I won't say a whole lot about the case study, but I will mention the questions that you want to answer in relation to the case study. And then I will just remind everyone about the Myers Briggs assessment. It's not due until the end of March, but it's good to know about it in relation to your study style, your learning style. And so it's good to get started on that early so that you can do those questions early so that everything is not rushed, right? So sometimes all you need is $1 billion, right? Money cannot solve every problem, but it can solve some problems, right? Yeah. And so, the old adage, the love of money is the root of all evil, but money itself is not a bad thing. Uh, so, um, so do click on this here at money, and this is a group of slides that have to do mostly with time management. You'll find in life, of course, as a lot of you know already, you may have even more experience than I do, that um, your time management, how you manage your time, is very much linked with how your money is managed. If you're not very efficient managing time, it's probably not going to be very um, uh, helpful with money management. So, what's the longest thing and the shortest thing in the world? Swiftest and slowest? Time, right? It's just a strange concept, right? Uh, if you recall as a child, not understanding the concept of time, that's kind of an interesting period in life. Babies don't understand the concept of time. My son is almost 3. He's starting to understand the different days. And on Saturday, we go to soccer. And on this, we do on this day. So he's starting to get that. But the way that adults understand it, it's still not there. It's just a strange kind of elusive kind of thing. But since we do understand time, we do understand it a little bit more than a child. We know that managing it very much translates to how we manage our money. So these are just kind of recapitulations, kind of going over what we did on Monday. That basically your time management is super important. What were the 4 P's? So do you remember the 4 P's? Um, we're going to go through those here in a second. We'll see them. Whenever you see a link here, unless the link is broken, it should work. So do go through these on your own time. A lot of what you'll see as we're leading up to the 4 P's is that you need to write things down, right? That is part of having good time management. If you see those self-help books, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, uh, you don't need to read them. If it's a part of an assignment, or if you just like to read leisurely, go for it. But you can look those up, right? You don't. I mean, they're good bestsellers, good for them. But it's pretty simple. You get the same thing here in these slides, right? Um, it, it's all interconnected. How you manage your energy helps you with your time. Of course, that translates to how you manage your money, however much or little of it we may have. So um, it helps to have people who go along on the ride with you, right? And so these are 8 steps. You know that there's 9,000 steps to better time management, right? And there's also 3. You'll find tons of lists out there. Here's the key: do 1 or 2 of them, right? So doing all 8 of these at once will not be necessarily very feasible, especially if you're a person who struggles with time management, aka human. If you're human, you struggle with time management because it's just something that's hard to really understand for us, even as adults. We don't completely understand it, get better as time goes on. So scheduling your way to success, write it down, basically. when you finish this video, go back and look at these and study them at a slower pace, of course, because it will be on the quiz in a couple of weeks. So you want to prioritize. We talked about the little activity we were doing in class. Which one would you prioritize first? For some people, it helps to do small activities to build confidence or to know that, okay, I can get these small activities out of the way quickly. If you are in a time crunch, what I recommend doing is do what you know first, right? For me, that's a confidence builder. If I can do what I know first, I can get that out the way, and I can spend most of the time that I have left on things that I need to really think deeply about. So here are the 4 P's. What kind of time manager are you? Are you preemptive, like to beat the clock? Are you a people pleaser? Do you take on too much so that people will say, okay, yeah, this guy or this gal's really, really, really intelligent or can do a lot, really dependable? Are you a perfectionist? Are you a procrastinator? Do you put things off? Or are you a combination of all of these, or a combination of 2 or 3? For me, I am a combination of probably preemptive, perfectionist, and a little bit of procrastinator. Thankfully, the procrastinator scale is going down a little bit for me, but yeah, it was pretty high, especially in high school, which is why I did not do so well in high school. But like me, you can get past it. So, what may be your major area that you need to work on? Attack that area just one at a time. Get some help. Of course, get connected with others because you're human. You're not going through this alone. Anybody who says they don't have any issues with this, even the best-selling authors, they're not telling the truth. They're lying. So procrastination busters. How can you get out of the bad habit of procrastinating? So I could say this over and over until I get blue in the face. It won't help you. What will help you is to take one of these, do them. If you master it, quickly go on to the next one, add it, right? So we talked about in the previous class, tricking yourself, setting a clock. Eventually you can get in the habit of being, if you have an issue with being on time, you can get into a great habit of being on time because you get what are called, you've heard in neuroscience, you've heard this, it's become kind of ubiquitous, kind of common knowledge. Endorphins are released when you have good experiences. And so, yeah, when you experience being on time, that's a great thing. If you're a people pleaser, that's really a great thing for you. And so, you can trick yourself into being on time. It's possible. I've done it. It is very helpful. And it's one thing you can check off your list, right? So get real. In other words, be reasonable, be real about what you can do, what is possible to do in a particular time frame that you have. So you don't want to necessarily get into the people pleaser habit of taking on too much. You can't please everyone. There's always going to be that person who is going to be like, okay, but this is not how I thought it was going to be, or this is not what I wanted. And I think it's more of an issue the younger you are, or once we come into consciousness, probably elementary school. And then as you get older, I don't think I'm necessarily there yet, but I do hear from a lot of people, and baby boomer generation and older, and they're 60s, 70s old and older. Like, I don't care. These are folks, not particular generations, I'm saying, but there are people within every generation. But these are folks who would just kind of dress however, do whatever, smell however. So I don't care. And that's great not to be focused on what people think about you. You want to balance it, of course, but it does help you. It does help you to not take on too much because you're not trying to please anyone. And so that in moderation, of course, get tough. Yeah. Build some calluses, right? as you go further in life. I like the phrase, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. Love that. Yeah. So shake the dust off your feet or off your back and pat it down and build your way up to the next challenge. So managing work, school, and personal life, you do want to have a network. People who can help you. Yeah. You have one now. It's called Real Estate College. You may not think of it as a helpful network, but it is. Yeah. And you have professors who can help you. If they don't want to have anything to do with you, then that's a problem. Email, not 3 o'clock in the morning, but yeah, do try to tap into your resources. Speaking of resources, time is money. So everything we've talked about concerning time, it applies to money. The main thing I would say, cutting to the chase concerning money, is the following. So credit cards are basically evil. You do want to build your credit, but there are tons of ways of building your credit. Don't believe the lie that you need a credit card to build your credit. No, you don't. Pay your bills. Pay for stuff that you buy. Do it on time. Again, time. So I'll let you read that. And you do want to go through the notes from the textbook slides because those will be important for the quiz, right? So things to remember going forward. You can read these, but just for the sake of sounding professional, I'll read them. Identify the 4 precious resources. Or again, go back to your notes from the text slides. Time-saving tips. There are some in here, this slide and the other slideshow. Identify the 4 P's of time management. Procrastination busters. Take one at a time. You can get there. The ABCD steps of prioritizing tasks. So you saw that slide with the different colors juxtaposed. And understanding credit history. What I would say about that is, if you don't have a credit history yet, you can't understand your credit history because it doesn't exist. But you don't need a credit card to start your credit history. You might need a car. You might need, of course, they'll see your credit and say, you don't have any. How can we trust you? But there are other ways you can pay a bill. You can pay for your apartment. There are things, and definitely many ways